Hello everyone, today we're just so excited to demo the Microsoft DevBox for accessibility. For people who are not familiar with what is DevBox, DevBox is a powerful cloud-based developer workstation that you can use to fully customize your developer environment. And for people who are not familiar with customization is a unique value that the DevBox is providing so that you can install software, tools, packages, and repository to your machine so that when you get the DevBox, it's ready to code and ready for you.
My job consists of helping product teams like DevBox and others make sure that the products are accessible to everyone, including, of course, people with disabilities. And I am myself blind, so I use a screen reader, which is a software that translates visual content into speech that I can listen to, as you will hear soon, and also Braille, which I can read in the Braille device, which is sitting right in front of me. When using any cloud development environment with assistive technology, such as a screen reader, one of the challenges that we face is that once we configure the VM, the first time we log into the VM, there is usually no assistive technology running it. So imagine myself as a blind developer, I log into a VM and there is no screen reader. It would be the equivalent of someone who is sighted going into a VM and suddenly having the screen off. So imagine trying to finish configuring your VM with a screen which is turned off. How would you do that? That's exactly the challenge we often face, which requires doing a little bit of hacking, and it turns difficult. So with the work that has been done with the customization in DevBox, I can create a DevBox and customize it so that when it launches for the first time, the screen reader and all the accessibility support I need gets installed automatically. So right now, I have launched DevBox and I have come straight, my screen reader started talking and brailing stuff to me. I came into VS Code and not only have a screen reader, but my VS Code is fully loaded with my settings. This is the JSON file that contains my settings, and the very first settings here is editor data accessibility support equals on. I'll let you hear to that. So that means accessibility support in VS Code is already enabled. I don't have to worry about that without any special configuration because it came all pre-loaded for me. So back to you, Jan.
Yep, thanks, Roberto. So we all see the magic, and let me kind of explain how this magic actually happens. So in here, like if you want to get the same experience as Roberto has, you go to the developer portal.microsoft.com and you create a new DevBox. And you type a name, let's say build demo 3, and set up project. I will use my kind of personal project and choose the DevBox pool. And in here, you do apply customization. So go ahead and continue and upload a customization file. So we do have this build demo.yaml. So this file is also available in our accessibility template repository. And I go ahead and click validate, and it will validate this file against our catalog. So the magic here happening behind is actually this build demo.yaml file actually contains 6 different winget tasks. It's using the DSC, desired state configuration, to configure your DevBox to make it ready to code. And we will go through that one after another after the validation kind of completes. The first thing it does is the JAWS install. So the JAWS install will simply get you the JAWS screen reader, and if you have the remote access license, it will work seamlessly between your physical machine and DevBox. The second one is NVDA. NVDA is like an open source and extensibility-based screen reader. So this DSC actually install NVDA for you and configure the RD access add-on with the right state. The DevBox becomes a server and your local physical machine becomes the client. So they kind of talk to each other and get all of your NVDA accessibility setting. The third one, the Ripple clone, is actually installed a Git command line tool together with kind of pulling the same repository that Roberto was working on to your machine. And the fourth one is actually installing the VS Code and also pull off your settings. So all Roberto's personal settings getting pulled to the right location so that VS Code is picking it up. And the next one is the Visual Studio. In the VS 17.10, we introduced a unified setting so that like all of your personal config can be kind of stored in the settings.json. And this is actually pulled out from the GitHub repository, enabling audio cues and other popular accessibility features so that they kind of pull it on the machine and Visual Studio can pick it up. So we have a quick video to show the Visual Studio experience. So let's see, this is the first logging of that box, and it's actually running the scheduled task. So all the things that you saw is kind of being executed and run. And after this installation and DSC configuration has been successful, you go ahead and sign into your Visual Studio, and you will be seeing the unified setting, which is a little different than the familiar Visual Studio tools option setting than you usually see, and it's getting the audio cues picked up as you see from here, the text editor setting. Yeah, so this is a change of setting, and it's using the unified setting of your personal profile. Next one we have in the code is the Windows Accessibility DSC. So with the DSC, you are able to call the Windows settings, the accessibility. So it's actually doing three things. It can make your text large. It can kind of turn on magnifier with the correct setting of the increment and the magnifier percentage. And the last one it does is like enlarge your mouse pointer. So those are the low version configuration settings that we kind of enable for you, so you can use the same file to configure any Windows machine. So those are how the magic actually happens. And here in the aka.ms box accessibility link, you will see all of our accessibility templates. And we really want to engage the community so that people are getting involved and engaged on kind of creating and updating more templates so that the community benefits from that. And here's the newly published DSC module for Windows accessibility. And we do plan to add more so that it makes your configuration configure as code and very much accessible. You can also scan a QR code for the link, and thank you so much for spending your time with us.